Imagine you spend years of your life serving your country in the United States military, only to come home and no one seems to understand you anymore. You find a job, but being around people you don't know makes you feel anxious, so eventually your boss lets you go. You fall behind on your rent and eventually get evicted. You try to stay with some friends for a while, but after a few weeks, they tell you that you seem cold and distant and ask you to move on. You've lost your job and your home. You've tried and you've tried, but without the sisters and brothers that you served alongside, you're unable to find a supportive community. What would you do? The Poverello Center runs several veteran programs, including 2 transitional housing programs that serve veterans who are experiencing houselessness, Housing Montana Heroes and the Valor House. Over my 7 years at the POV, I've been able to experience firsthand the success of these programs. For example, we have one veteran who now sits on our board of directors and one who is working in our kitchen.
Housing Montana Heroes is a 2-year transitional program, and in that time, they work on acquiring skills and overcoming barriers so that they can get permanent housing in the end. They come from all walks of life. I've had a veteran who was married for years and his wife died, and after that happened, he became homeless. We have younger veterans that unfortunately acquired PTSD while they were serving. You know, their struggles with navigating the system after going through war or being in service can be really tough.
A lot of the veterans that I've worked with feel like they've been let down. They don't trust the system. They don't feel like the system has benefited them, and they've been let down over and over and over again.
It's hard to ask for help. And it's hard to be around other people that are struggling. What's really important is that I welcome to say thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're here.
I served for 12 years in the United States Air Force. I was working full-time. It was still impossible for me to save enough money for first month, then last month, then security, plus furniture and everything else, pretty much undoable. So that's like the story of a lot of people. Essentially, I needed to find an apartment in the city of Missoula, which I couldn't on my own. I stayed in the congregate shelter in the Poverello. And then after that, they got me a room in the Housing Montana Heroes section. Had everything upstairs that you need. There was a kitchen, showers, and all that. Go downstairs for some breakfast, get in my car, go to work, come back to the POV. So exactly 30 days after starting that, they called me and said, we have an apartment, you want to come and look at it? And I did, and I took it right on the spot. Been there 3 years. You get a nice warm feeling when you know that there's people that are there to help you, and all you have to do is ask, really.
Valor House is transitional housing for homeless veterans. We work in collaboration with Missoula Housing Authority. When they first get there, they are kind of drawn in. So I tried to step back a little bit and let them get to know their neighbors and watch them come out of their shell. That's pretty exciting. We have 17 full apartments, living room, bedroom, bathroom. While the veterans are in Valor House, they'll meet with me for case management, usually weekly, and we work on applying for housing, applying for employment, applying for Social Security or veterans benefits. Those are the things that we work on.
I enlisted in the Marine Corps. My senior year in high school was 1973. Served overseas, came back, and then the person that I'd been with for the last 7 years passed away unexpectedly. I wasn't able to meet my financial responsibilities, and I moved to Missoula to become the 7th participant of Housing Montana Heroes. They helped you negotiate the VA. I'm glad I had the 2 years to find out what was going on and what was going on with me. I had Of course, being homeless for the first time, I had mental health issues to deal with, and I was sent to the right helpers for that. I'm just so glad that I ran into the group of people I ran into and was smart/desperate enough to take the advice of strangers, and the Poverello saved my life. I know for a fact. And I know some other people that it did as well.
So the piece that I do connects them from Housing Montana Heroes or Valor House, and then follows them out into the community. So supporting them through that process of getting used to being in an apartment, how to be a good tenant, talking to the landlord, getting along with your neighbors. I mean, all the things that we kind of all take for granted because we've been doing it forever is not true for some of the people that I work with.
After all these guys have been through, they want to help. The big thing for them is, what can I do? Can I help somebody?
You know, after getting this wonderful apartment in Missoula, I'm going on with my life and I'm going to my job every day. And there's this sense that I want to be doing something more to give something back. Like on my day off, I was just going through the want ads and I saw a thing for like a cook at the Poverello, and I'm like, I used to live there. So I just sent a resume. They like called me the next day. They were like, are you Matt? Listen, we want to talk to you. We understand you actually used to live here and now you want to work here. I'm like, yeah, that's for sure. And that's essentially how I got the job. That was one of the biggest factors, and I'm thinking them saying this is the guy that we want is my knowledge and experience of actually having been to the place. It's not like I was walking in going, oh my God, what kind of place is this? I was like, I lived here. This is nice.
My father and both my uncles were all in the service. So I just wanted to be able to support them and help them with their needs, and I just kind of ran with it from there. So helping our veterans has been very fruitful for myself, and I enjoy coming and seeing them every day. They're usually standing at the door waiting, good morning, so.
The way that it's impacted my life, even after all these years of doing this, I am still continuously grateful for their service and for the way that they are resilient and their bravery. It really touches me.
I've gotten hugs after serving food. We did a brunch 2 weeks ago on Easter, and a guy came around the back into the kitchen and said, dude, it's the best breakfast I ever had. What else can you say? That's as good as it gets. I don't think you can sum that up in words. What's better than a hug? And everybody could use one.
Starting in fall of 2023, the Housing Montana Heroes program will be moving to the current Clark Fork Inn location. The new facility is going to offer veterans a private living space with a private bathroom and a community area where they can gather. This project was made possible by a grant from the Veterans Administration and additional funding from the City of Missoula and Missoula County. We believe that all individuals deserve a safe place to live. It's not enough to tell a veteran, thank you for your service. We need to show up in ways that matter. You can make a significant difference in the lives of a veteran experiencing houselessness. Whether it be a donation or volunteer hours, go to our website for more information.